For the past 30 years, it has been my privilege to serve the city I love. I grew up here, I raised my family here, and now my grandchildren also call Virginia Beach home. I'm announcing I will be stepping down from the office of mayor to pursue private sector employment opportunities. There is no one more proud to call this great city home, and I have great faith that this city will continue on the right path for the people who live in Virginia Beach, and because of that, Virginia Beach will continue to be the greatest city in the world.
I would say that the way he has always handled himself as a gentleman through the good times and the bad times. He never really felt defeated in the tough times. He'd pick himself up and keep going. I think he's such a team player, and working with the council that's been supportive in a lot of, in most instances. And like he said, the friends that we've made in the military and just across the community have really been highlights.
Have enjoyed so much my time in the private sector, and then retired, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to be mayor at that point and continue to be so. And now to have the opportunity to go back into the private sector, that is exciting to me, and I feel like I got a ton of energy left in me, and I think I can be very productive and successful.
You know, he's never taken his eyes off of the things that I think are the most important for the city, and be it the safe schools, the wonderful police and rescue and fire, all the basic things that a city needs for people to want to come to live in Virginia Beach. I mean, I think that's always been a big focus for him, and I think we're seeing more and more military that decide they want to retire here versus leaving because of all those wonderful things. So, you know, there'll be lots of good stories to tell them.
This is the STIHL Day of Service project. It's a system, a chance for STIHL Incorporated to give back to the community. They use it as a training process for city employees, for volunteers if they show up, for their employees as well, a chance for them to get in the field.
I've been part of the STIHL family for 6 years. I've been here in Virginia Beach for the past 5 months, and I feel it's important to volunteer because it's a good way to give back to the community. The city of Virginia Beach does a lot for us. They do a lot for the families that live here, and you know, our products can help support cleaning up the properties. The trees that we identified that could potentially be a hazard, we took them down safely, and we're cleaning them up and shipping them, and you know, again, to make the property more usable.
We are on the western side of the city. It is officially now inventoried in Parks and Rec as Ferry Point Park. Currently, the plans are to establish a waterway access site. This benefits the city in the sense of the volunteers, the staff that's out here as far as STIHL. It's saved us since 2012 an estimated $100,000 or more dollars, as well as 2,300 man hours, which is valuable time for the city to be able to do and put forth energy elsewhere.
At the end of the day, I hope that we could say that we used our time wisely. The property is cleaned up, and you know, it's one step further in the process of making it better.
For more than 25 years, my mom, dad, sister, and I have volunteered and worked for Virginia Beach EMS in some form. It's in our blood, and we just love providing the service to the community.
I'm proud of my family in our journey through the EMS program, with Christy starting this, and then 2 years later my wife joined, and then 2 years later I came in. Jennifer was in that mix too. Because she went with her mother to all her EMT classes and so forth. But extremely proud of what we do every day, what we've done through the 25 5 years in the system, helping people here in Virginia Beach, whether they are from Virginia Beach or visitors to the city.
My family and I started volunteering with Virginia Beach EMS in 1992. I came home for spring break from college at Radford University and put in my application and started running that summer.
I like to volunteer with EMS because I like interacting with the people. I like being able to help teach the students and to see the students grow from somebody that doesn't know anything about EMS to somebody that's a good EMT.
Everything we do revolves around what we do for EMS. Like, you know, we proctor, we teach, Christy works, Joe volunteers, doing different things.
Serving in EMS is my life. It's also our family's lives. We didn't anticipate that would be the case. You know, I thought I would go to nursing school and become a nurse, and I still am a nurse. But what I found while I was doing this is I didn't even know that this was what I was destined to do, or that I would become so passionate about doing it. I am so proud that all of us are still doing this with Virginia Beach and still volunteering in many ways. I'm no longer volunteering because, you know, I turned that into my career.
I don't think there's just one memorable moment. I know some of the ones I'm really proud of. I've delivered 3 babies, so that was very exciting. Just having the people say thank you, and with a smile on their face, and knowing that you've done something to help them.
We are at the Virginia Beach Convention Center, and this event is the Mental Health Forum for both adult services as well as child and youth services.
We're finding out more and more every day that people are out there who need services. 1 in 6 Americans have a mental illness, and not half of those get treated. And so people don't know that we're here. So we want to make sure that people realize help is available.
We have over 430 people who registered to come to this event. It's not only our city departments that are here, we do have some faith-based organizations that have attended. Our sheriff is here, our police are here. We have about 14 vendors, I believe, today. They should be able to pick up flyers. How do they refer to those organizations? What services those organizations provide? They should be able to get a wide array of information.
I know that I'm leaving with more information. I learn more every day from these wonderful, fantastic city employees who are looking to change lives, save lives, and create family cooperation throughout the city. I expect to leave with more partnerships, more information for my law clients, and more help for my community.
Located about a half mile from the Cape Henry lighthouses at Joint Expeditionary Base Fort Story, this statue was gifted to Virginia Beach in 1976 from the French Bicentennial Committee in Paris in honor of French Navy Admiral François-Joseph Paul deGrass.
He joined the French Navy at age 17 and served in India during the 7 Years' War.
Promoted to Admiral in 1781, deGrass responded to appeals for aid from General Washington and General Rochambeau, bringing 3,000 French troops from Saint-Domingue and landed the reinforcements in Virginia.
And right here, this is the very grass that leads to deGrass.
Standing 7 feet 6 inches tall and 3,100 pounds, the statue is a replica of the one that stands in the Trocadero Gardens in Paris, France.
I know all about shoe shining. That good glassy look that you put in there, I had some good shoes, I'll say that. Oui, oui, that would be 200 francs, sir.
At the French government's request, the statue was placed at Cape Henry.
Under Admiral deGrass's command, the French defeated the British fleet, led by Rear Admiral Sir Thomas Graves.
deGrass was able to successfully draw the British fleet away from the bay and blockade the coast to prevent reinforcements and supplies from reaching Lieutenant General Cornwallis.
deGrass's efforts led to the British surrender at Yorktown on October 19, 1781. It guaranteed American independence.
trees are amazing things, and today we celebrate trees. Isn't that awesome?
We're proud to be here to celebrate Virginia Beach's 38th year as a Tree City, USA, and our 38th observation of Arbor Day for Virginia Beach.
Arbor Day is about celebrating trees, celebrating vegetation, and improving the environment with the assistance of as many of our citizens as we can inspire. There's a proclamation from the mayor, and we'll be planting a tree, of course, as we do every Arbor Day.
We go into the schools and we have the children do an Arbor Day art project. This year we are working with Kempsville Meadows Elementary School with their ecology club.
I love trees and they help, and I like them because they help us. They give us oxygen and food, and they give animals homes too.
Trees are really cool and they help us in every different way. So basically Arbor Day, we are celebrating trees and telling them thank you for what they do to us.
The kids have been working for several weeks on some prototypes of toys that are actually going to be sent on our medical missions to give to our patients to bring them comfort and joy before and after surgery.
We were given the assignment to create a toy for the Smile bags in Operation Smile, and we decided to create a car, but we wanted to make it unique in our own way. We decided to add a mirror to the front of the bottom of the car so they could see their smiles after their surgery.
And so what we're doing is looking at them meeting with a representative from Ford who's going to actually come in, and they're going to pitch the idea to him next week, and hopefully hoping that he'll be able to fund their product.
They can sit there and roll this on the ground and look at their new smile and how their lives have changed so drastically. It just makes us feel that we've really accomplished something.
The main program that I run is called Schools Restoring Oysters to the Chesapeake. For the students, one of the exciting parts of the partnership is that they get to be exposed to oysters, and they get to be a part of a really large-scale oyster restoration effort, and that's exciting for the students to feel like they have the ability to make a difference in the environment.
Okay, we have a really fun partnership with Lincoln Park Elementary School. We have a student-run credit union there.
I'm a teller, and when people come up with their money, and they usually come with an account number, and on the deposit slip and the receipt, we put the account number, and then we put their name, the date, how much money they have, or a check.
So that they have a lot of multitasking going on and a lot of responsibility.
We do a lot of math for counting the money. It's not just like opening up the textbook and doing some work. It's more like actually having it in your hand and doing it. We're learning about saving money and how it's important to have money always and not to just spend it.
And once they get that mindset, and the younger kids, then they get that mindset, it empowers them. It doesn't matter if they're a millionaire or they just have a penny in their pocket. They're going to carry that along with them.
I partnered with Lansdowne Elementary, the gifted resources teacher over there named Kim Kabatahe. The project was to design and construct a learning lab, so a greenhouse and a shed and a garden that was designed and constructed by the kids. They obviously get an enriched curriculum and an expansion of the sort of learning experience, right, by way of the structures themselves, but also the curriculum that's tied into them.
The partnership with Virginia Star is kind of a multifaceted partnership. It's got a lot of different benefits. One of the first ones being that we are keeping computers and electronic devices out of the landfill. We're actually refurbishing them, repurposing them. If we cannot refurbish them, they actually are recycled down in my classroom. Not only though are we recycling, but we're providing working computers to families and students in need in the community, as well as community centers. And we also are providing real-world hands-on skills to the students that are participating in this partnership. So they are working, getting actual 21st century technology skills while working towards industry level certifications.
We have partnered up with all kinds of students and clubs from Old Nation School. They've come out
I've also brought students out here to this school, and our focus is promote sustainability and to understand environmental education. Our kids are developing much more confidence in themselves, they're developing much more confidence in their understanding of the environment, and they're really building a relationship with people. And for the kids at Old Nation, I think it's important because they are kids from all over the city. So when they come to our gardens, we tell them this is our garden now, and they actually come in the summer and work with our kids side by side, and it is an amazing, beautiful thing.
Centera actually allows us to come into the clinical space, which is wonderful for the students. So it bridges the gap between what they're learning in the classroom, what they're learning in the skills lab, and then bringing that into that clinical experience.
We get a lot more hands-on practice that we can use at the end of the year when we go to clinicals, which is where we actually go to a facility and practice all the skills that we've been learning.
Centera does such a wonderful opportunity by providing not just the clinical time, but allowing their staff to teach us too. So we've had training from diabetic instructors, we've had training from the wound care specialists, from the IV therapy team. They've opened the doors for us to, the students have actually seen operations. Our students have gone from an LPN, gone back to college, gotten their BSN. Recently found out that one of our students got her doctorate, and she's now a nurse practitioner as well.
The partnership between this school, my school, and Cook Elementary is mentors who are high school students come as many times a month as they can, and they spend about an hour with the students here at Cook Elementary, and they do their homework with them and they play games with them. They get a friend to talk to. It's like a big sister, big brother program, and I get happiness from just sitting with other children and just hearing their everyday life, because when I see one of the little girls smile, it just makes me so happy.
The partnership between Tallwood High School and Tallwood Elementary School started in the spring of 2015 with one of the Academy students' senior projects. There's one on music, the history of African American music in the United States. Everything from spirituals to jazz to dance, and how that all plays together. In 2017, we started a Be a Reader program with Tallwood Elementary, where students from Tallwood come over and mentor Tallwood Elementary school students in reading.
We help them along if they can't figure out a word, and we talk about the book after. Each time we're coming to read with them, they're starting to start less using their fingers to point out the words.
I think it's important that the younger students see there's more to the world than what we see around us, that they start to get exposed and become global citizens. That's part of the Compass to 2020. Really important that they start learning that younger.
The magic of Old Donation School is not necessarily about the physical structure. What makes it magical, though, is a very well-intentioned, well-designed space that took into consideration in the design and the construction what our students need. What our gifted students need, what our artists need, what our dancers need, what the whole child that's going to come to school here needs in terms of a learning environment.
It's not just this amazing building. All the teachers are wonderful, and they know how to make every student feel special and safe.
We're involved in real-world problems. We're having the students think like the discipline, think like somebody who really is in that field.
The school is very student-driven, and so a lot of the times in classes, once we learn the normal information, then we get to build off and learn more about the current events, and it's all on our own time and research, and so it's very fun.
Students are able to take on a role as an expert, and coming into an auditorium allows them to experience a professional atmosphere.
It's not just sitting there reading through a textbook. You can do plays, or our English teachers allow us to do raps and things like that to really express ourselves while we're learning.
It is a community of lifelong learners, from the teachers down to the students. Having that intrinsic interest in what we do and having a facility that fosters that has been an outstanding opportunity to learn alongside these students.
I think my favorite
might be probably the auditorium. It's really cool to be able to fit so many students here.
Our rooftop garden, I think that's a really cool thing we have.
How this building is more dynamic and how you can kind of use it in different ways.
Having the flexibility in our learning spaces has been really powerful.
3 words that describe my school are fun, supportive, and engaging, just because of the community and the way that everyone treats each other.
Wonderful.
Engaging, authentic, and inspiring. And by inspiring, I am inspired by my students every day.
We are now in a space that simply resonates with what our kids need. Classes are not teacher-driven, they are student-driven. It is inquiry-based, it is problem-based, and every single model and strategy that we know our students need in order to maximize their potential and reach their goals is implemented in this building every minute of every day that we're in school.
I love being here. It's a gift to teach.
I just love my school.
We love our school!
I love Old Donation School.
I love my school.
Yes, I love my school.
I love Old Donation School.
I love Old Donation School.
We love Old Donation School!
When I'm out in the community and visiting schools across the district, I always see dedicated volunteers working alongside our dedicated teachers and staff. And as a former teacher, I know firsthand the benefit volunteers bring to our classrooms. And so I cannot share enough how much we appreciate all the incredible men and women of this community who share their time and talents with our school division. We are so grateful for all they do.
I would say what makes our volunteers special is that they're definitely unsung heroes. They really don't like a lot of attention and don't do it for the glory. We even have to negotiate with some to document their hours in the computer because they love being here, they love our students, and they definitely don't do it for the praise. So that's the best way I would describe them, is people who are volunteering simply for the love of children and the love of our school system.
The biggest volunteer group that we have that helps us is the military community around us. 4,400 square foot garden was built by just asking the military community to come in and help with these huge projects that teachers couldn't have done by themselves. Without the volunteers' efforts that they've extended into the learning garden in my classroom, so many projects wouldn't be possible, and I'd like to extend a huge thank you to all of the volunteers that have helped White Oaks Elementary School.
You know, we're so fortunate to have over 21,000 volunteers and partners in education working in our schools every day. I want you to know that you make a difference. Not only do you share your experiences and provide opportunities for our students to have meaningful and authentic learning experiences, but you also connect with them as a caring adult and show them that they have worth and value. So on behalf of Virginia Beach City Public Schools, I want to say thank you to all of our partners and all of our volunteers for your work and your support as we together make Virginia Beach City Public Schools the best in the world.
I most enjoy about them is that they help me practice skills and that they help us answer more questions than we need to answer.
Thanks so much, volunteers, for all your help.
Thank you!
Thank you for helping us.
Thank you! Thank you!
Thank you, volunteers, for helping us in our classroom.
Thank you!
Volunteers are helpful during SOS because they keep halls quiet.
Thank you for everything you do.
We appreciate all the work you do to help the school division.
Thank you. Volunteers are a gift because they help us every day even though they don't have to.
Thank you, volunteers.